Once upon a time, there lived a prince and a princess who frolicked in the castle all day and had no cares or problems. Unfortunately, this model of marriage rarely presents itself in modern society. Couples on the supposedly blissful journey through a relationship often find that reality doesn't live up to the fairy tale. Short story author Raymond Carver understood this contrast all too well from his time in a failing marriage. Collected in Will You Please Be Quiet, Please?, the tales of Carver's characters routinely include marital dysfunction, and, as a result, the characters often live miserably. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the story Are You a Doctor?, in which Carver describes two individuals who suffer the loneliness of failed relationships and how they find solace in the simplest of interactions. Through the use of various literary features, Carver highlights the destructive nature of a failed spousal relationship. In order to demonstrate how loneliness results from a broken marriage, Carver utilizes the connotations and denotations of words. The main character in the story, Arnold, faces harsh loneliness and despair as a result of his marriage with his wife. The story literally discusses how his wife, quote, phoned each night when she was out of town. She was a buyer, and all this week she had been away on business. The lack of a companion with whom to experience everyday life reveals Arnold's physical isolation and the actual distance between himself and his wife. Unfortunately, the rift in this couple's love runs far deeper than mere business trips. Carver notes that, quote, his wife called somewhat intoxicated, he could tell. In this situation, liquor holds triple significance. Primarily, alcohol shows the literal mental barrier the couple faces in communication. As a depressant, alcohol destroys the ability to interpersonally communicate in a meaningful way. Secondly, alcohol holds connotative significance. When someone drinks liquor in excess, a disinhibition is observed in which an individual can communicate freely and openly. The fact that his wife only calls while intoxicated reveals that Arnold and his spouse are only relating to each other by proxy. Ultimately, though, alcohol's significance is revealed through the context of the collection of stories. Not only did Raymond Carver encounter the damaging effects of alcoholism in his family and personal life, but several other stories in the collection also explore the deleterious influence of liquor on a relationship. In this sense, the connotations of alcohol reveal the profound emotional distress Arnold felt in his relationship. In addition to alcohol, though, Carver provides additional evidence of the instability of Arnold's marriage through further use of connotation, juxtaposition, and pathos. When his wife calls at the end of the novel, stating, quote, Arnold, my, aren't we formal tonight? Her voice strong, teasing. The mocking tone she adopts holds dual significance. First, it connotes derision and condescension, revealing the lack of companionship he feels from her. Second, and perhaps more importantly, the irony of having a spouse, by definition a life partner for providing unconditional love, mock him reveals the crumbled nature of their love. Carver also juxtaposes the call between Arnold and his wife to that between Arnold and Clara Holt to create an interesting contrast. Most notably, while the author provides line-by-line description of the latter conversation, the former receives almost no attention, signifying its relative unimportance in Arnold's life. However, Clara Holt's call reveals the depth of Arnold's loneliness, as Carver explains, quote, he knew he should hang up now, but it was good to hear a voice, even his own, in the quiet room. This use of pathos implies that the loneliness resulting from Arnold's marriage virtually dehumanizes him, as the reader sympathizes but feels unsettled. Through these literary features, Carver shows the immense sorrow, mainly loneliness, that a marriage gone bad carries. As obviously hurtful as loneliness is, Carver explores the various facets of influence it exerts on the rest of an individual's being through repetition, biographical writing, and symbolism. Throughout the story, Clara Holt uses Arnold's name in excess, only rarely referring to him as you. Often, the use of a name is endearing and reveals the excitement Clara feels in meeting a new individual. However, in Arnold's case, the acknowledgement unsettles him. Initially, he refuses to accept the recognition. When he first divulges his name to Clara, he, quote, went into the study for a cigar, took a minute lighting it up with the desk lighter, then removed his glasses and looked at himself in the mirror over the fireplace. In fact, Arnold questions the reality of the situation. Because of his loneliness, the sensation of acknowledgement appears so foreign to him that he verifies his sanity and calms himself down with a cigar. The repetition, then, represents the insecurity he continues to hold so long as he remains in his lonely marriage. A glimpse into Carver's own life provides yet another facet of analysis. The author wrote this collection in the years leading up to his split with Marianne, his first wife, and given the often cathartic, personal nature of some of his other stories, it seems likely that Are You a Doctor? Pertains to the crippling loneliness he felt in his relationship. In order to maximize the story's effect, Carver also utilizes symbolism in his short story. Initially, Arnold states of his phone number, quote, well, I don't know how she got it, but it's my telephone number and it's unlisted. I'd appreciate it if you just toss it away. However, by the end, it becomes apparent that Arnold himself may have called the number, as Clara says, quote, I checked with Annette, the sitter, but of course you know that. Anyway, she told me the phone rang while she was here and it was somebody wanting me. They left a number to call and it was your number she took down. The phone number symbolizes an unconscious cry for respite. Even though he doesn't remember making the call, the responsibility probably belongs to him. If Arnold involuntarily sought a new relationship, it means the pain of the loneliness overwhelmed his mind. By using symbolism, repetition, and by establishing a personal connection to the story, Carver expounds on the hurtful nature of isolation. In a life without companionship, and one full of pain, individuals seek meaning in even the simplest of relationships, and Carver uses local color, characterization, and patterns to emphasize the importance of every relationship to a lonely individual. When Arnold visits Clara, Carver writes that, quote, he felt a sudden pain in his side, imagined his heart, imagined his legs folding under him, imagined a loud fall to the bottom of the stairs. He took out his handkerchief and wiped his forehead. Then he removed his glasses and wiped the lenses, waiting for his heart to quiet. This description reveals the symptoms of nervousness in an engaging way, separating the passage from the rest of the story. The anxiety he feels results from his anticipation at bonding with a new individual, something he felt disconnected from with his wife. Indeed, Clara and Arnold's wife are perfect foils. While Arnold's wife is headstrong and distant, Clara dotes on Arnold, refusing to accept no for an answer. She even lets him kiss her, something, it seems, Arnold does very little with his wife. Additionally, Carver uses the pattern of looking in the mirror to demonstrate the profound impact of even the simplest relationship on one's worldview. When Arnold first looked at the mirror, he conversed with Clara and perceived the situation as unreal. The second time, he, quote, went to wash up. When he looked in the bathroom mirror, he discovered the hat. It was then that he made the decision to see her, and he took off his hat and glasses and soaped his face. He checked his nails. The fact that his mind changed after such a short amount of time means that Clara's call, as meaningless as it seemed at the time, ended up helping Arnold overcome his loneliness. Carver's story explains that this is the ultimate goal, that one finds respite in building new connections and finding new love. Through a host of literary features, Raymond Carver relates the story of Arnold and Clara in Are You a Doctor to his own marital troubles and the relationship problems of all people, revealing just how damaging a bad marriage is. Not only does it lead to loneliness, but this sense of isolation causes harm far beneath the surface. Carver urges readers to seek safety in the simpler relationships and in the formation of new love. While marriage in real life may not live up to the marriage in a fairy tale, it's up to the individual to keep themselves grounded in reality. Only thus can the true wonder of an interpersonal bond surface.